All right, I'm still working inside of 3stylepages.ai, found inside the O8 Type folder. You'll need to have completed the previous exercise in order to work your way through this one, because we're sort of in the middle of things here. I went ahead and created an inset rectangular outline, and I Alt-Option clicked on it with the Type tool in order to add a blinking insertion marker that will accommodate text along the outline of the path. Now, we're going to add some ornaments, and these ornaments are included with the font Adobe Caslon Pro. So I'm going to click here inside of the font field, and then I'm going to enter Adobe C, which should automatically select Adobe Caslon Pro, assuming you have that font available to you on your system. And as I was saying earlier, Adobe Caslon Pro is included along with most versions of the full Creative Suite. Then I'll press the Tab key a couple of times to advance to the size option, and I'll change the size value to 50 points and press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac. We are now ready to add some ornaments. Obviously, I can't get to the ornaments by typing letters on the keyboard, so I'll go up to the Type menu, and I'll choose the Glyphs command to bring up the Glyphs panel. Now, I've already gone ahead and scrolled down the list here to the ornaments, but what you would do, presumably, you would be seeing the capital letters up here at the top of the Glyphs panel, and then you would scroll your way down the list until you come to the ornaments, which is a little farther than halfway down. And then the first guy I want you to enter is this one, this shell right there. Double click on it in order to add the shell character along the top of the rectangle. And then double click on the sun icon, which is the second to last ornament, in order to add it as well. And that's it. We're done with the Glyphs panel. We're just going to repeat those same ornaments over and over again. So I'll close the Glyphs panel like so on. Now, I'm not really happy with the way that the shell and sun are aligned, either with the path outline or with each other. They should be more or less centered with each other. So I'm going to adjust the baseline shift attribute, which allows you to move characters up and down with respect to their baselines. And in our case, the baseline is the path outline itself. So I'll go ahead and select the first character by dragging over it, and then I'll bring up my character panel, which I can get by pressing Control-T or Command-T on the Mac. And if your character panel is truncated like this, then you need to expand it by clicking on this up-down arrowhead icon to the left of the word character. And then notice this option, Set the Baseline Shift. I want you to change that value to -14 and then press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac. Now, I just happen to know that works. What if you don't know? What if you're not sure how much baseline shift to apply, which is more likely, by the way? Then go ahead and select the sun in our case, and you can take advantage of a keyboard technique. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is press Control-K or Command-K on a Mac to bring up the Preferences dialog box, and I'm going to switch over to Type. And notice that I've changed my baseline shift value to half a point, so 0.5 point. Just want you to remember that. We did that earlier in this chapter. I'm going to go ahead and click on Cancel. To apply that increment to the active character of Type, you press Shift-Alt down arrow in order to move the text downward. And notice that each time I press that keyboard increment, you can see this value here inside the character panel decline by half a point. So that's Shift-Alt or Shift-Option down arrow. If you want to move the character up, you press Shift-Alt or Shift-Option up arrow. You can also press and hold that keyboard combo if you want. If you want to change that value in 5 times the designated increment, then you go ahead and add the Control key here on the PC or the Command key on the Mac. So that would be mash your fist down on the modifier keys, Control-Shift-Alt or Command-Shift-Option, and in my case, down arrow. And I want to take this value all the way down. Notice I'm at now -21.5 points. So I'm going to press Shift-Alt down arrow or Shift-Option down arrow on the Mac one time to take that value down to -22 points. So we've got -14 point for the shell. By -14 point, I mean the baseline shift value. And we have -22 points here for the sun. In the next exercise, we're going to replicate these characters over and over again and adjust their tracking so they fit along the perimeter of the rectangle.